How is the background?
All right, welcome everyone to the Cluster Addons meeting. Today is the 26th of October. And yeah, I think welcome everyone. And I think Lee had a quick update from Flux and OCI things.
Hi, friends. Yeah, super excited to share this. We mentioned it in our previous meeting that the Carvel team would be making a contribution to Flux to support OCI images being pulled as a source. And that proof of concept / draft PR has turned into a productive and fruitful discussion. I think it's PR 450 on the source controller repo and the Flux CD org, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, Ben Hale from the Carvel team with VMware made that upstream kind of contribution of that internal work. It includes the OCI image API, and the Flux team has left some feedback. We changed the shape a little bit, and it looks like it's gonna happen. So that's really great. There'll be core support for OCI images, assuming that everything continues to go smoothly there inside of Flux. For sure, I started opening up some conversations with the Argo team when we were at GitUpsdays / KubeCon about doing this in Argo as well. At some point, we probably want to try and reach out to the Fleet folks from the SUSE Rancher ecosystem, because we want to see support for pulling these OCI sources all around for all sorts of add-on type things and continuous delivery bits. And it's good because we were talking about using this as a delivery format inside of the add-on operators as well. And so we'll have this kind of packaging capability all around the ecosystem. And if we can see some adoption of these OCI packages become more popular, for instance, it is in Tanzu Community Edition. Red Hat's also using it in OpenShift. Microsoft is doing all sorts of stuff with OCI bundling right now. Then that's kind of like the big ecosystem picture of that. And this is a small piece, which is Flux is going to support OCI images. And go check out the code. But, yeah, that's the update there from Cluster Addons, KubeCon, OCI image stuffs. Related, there was a very interesting talk at KubeCon that was using OCI registries. They were streaming an IRC type protocol in a way. So people were chatting off of the image layers in an OCI registry. You can go check it out. So weird stuff. Yeah. I don't know if we had any other updates from KubeBuilder declarative pattern stuff or COPS stuff, but that's all for me.
On the Flux side, I think it looks like it is ages before. The KubeCon was 1014, I believe. And there was one Flux roadmap to general availability by Hide Beidas and Michael Brigden from vWorks. So I had moderated that, and they had said they already have achieved the what you call the general availability. And I don't recollect right now the details, but definitely they had done a 1 hour, 40 minutes presentation, was it? Yeah, 30 minutes presentation with some Q&A and all. And sorry for the not being able to recollect, because too many conferences, one after other. I went through KubeCon, then went to the 5G World Forum, then the next one, Quantum Week. So I literally lost track of it, but Flux was really in good shape, and I'm happy for them. I hope we can help them to add to Cluster API and few other crazy things I'm thinking about. Can Cluster API address the quantum computing? Can Cluster API address acceleration, which is being promoted in the sense of GPUs, and what do we need to do to enable such kinds of things is running in my head. But at this time, I'm more focused on the standard development organization of how to make, they call it as NISC. NISC is uh, noisy intermediate scale quantum era, NISC era. So I am defining something called a RASC, which is reliable, advanced, scalable quantum era. So how do we move from NISC era to RASC era, and how we can plug in the cluster API which is required to enable these things? This will be in my head for as we go forward. So that's what I'll bring it to this forum. Thank you.
Is that from KubeCon? That's something I really miss from KubeCon, is like new ideas and different ideas. But it sounds cool, Prakash.
Yeah, there was certainly a lot of talk about GPU acceleration at KubeCon, and it's you have this like new compute resource, and to get these workloads scheduled on them, you want to use other people's workloads in sort of an add-on format. The drivers for the GPUs themselves are kind of add-on-y, and so how do we configure our clusters to provide the platform for that compute, and then also to schedule those workloads? And then you have like quantum accelerators or that sort of thing as well, different CPU architectures for different kinds of code. I'm like thinking now of like having a Flux Bootstrap repo that just shows you how to set up that stuff. It's probably something somebody could sell. So thank you, Prakash. Well, I'm probably going to need to drop because I'm in a conflicting meeting time block right now, but I didn't want to miss this. See all your faces. Also talk about the productive things happening in the ecosystem. So
Yeah,
Thanks, Lee, and thanks for sharing that Carvel link as well. That's or the poll for poll 450. I'm gonna take a look at that.
Yeah, that's been a really cool and productive conversation. Seeing lots more cross-company interactivity, because I think the D2 IQ folks also have been contributing a lot, as well as Microsoft in the Flux project. Cool. All right, thank you, friends. Lovely to see all of you. I'm going to hop out.
Take care, Lee.
Thanks.
Yeah, Justin, did you have anything you wanted to talk about? I think a couple of PRs landed recently in the cluster add-ons.
We're getting the PRs going. Yeah, I think this is all trying to get the final steps for integrating into KOps. We are very close. We're not there yet. I apologize, but we're getting there, and hopefully very soon. I'm trying to think what the next step is. Yeah, I think actually, maybe I'll put something on for next time. I think we need to discuss the RBAC model in general for operators. So I think, actually, I don't know if we need to discuss it, but anyway, that's one of the things that's been top of mind is, I think we've talked a lot about the RBAC model in the past. We've had this notion of a very restricted RBAC model where the operator assumes that the RBAC roles are pre-created for it. And basically, I've been doing some PRs to generate those RBAC roles and some tooling to help for that case. Basically building on some Toshi's work from Google Summer of Code last year, I guess now, to polish it up and deal with that restricted mode. And so there should be a couple more PRs that are going in just to make it super easy to create, given a manifest, to create the operators that work in this style. And then I think we're good. Like, I think, yeah, I need to get it actually all wired in, but that's the current area where I'm working.
Super. And do you think we're going to need like more people to discuss this?
I think the next step is to get the first one in there in some way. And I think there's a good community of people that are actually like interacting with the core DNS operator, which is going to be our first one. So I think we can do that largely on GitHub. And then we've had other people, particularly from Cluster API, that are interested in how operators that have RBAC permissions in particular, like they really thinking about Cloud Controller Manager, how those should work. So I think if we could get one of those going as well, that would really seed the discussion, and we could actually have a ton of really productive discussion and hopefully traction at the same time.
What was the cloud thing called?
The Cloud Controller Manager is the extraction of the cloud functionality from Kube Controller Manager, and there is now a AWS specific one and a GCE specific one and a Azure specific one and a insert your favorite cloud here. For every cloud, there will be a cloud specific Cloud Controller Manager instead of having multiple clouds linked into Kube Controller Manager. But it does mean that now there's another component that has RBAC permissions, or sorry, not RBAC permissions, Cloud IAM permissions is sort of the problem. It has to have permissions to do things on the on AWS, for example, or on GCE or on Azure.
Okay.
I think I said RBAC before, which is completely wrong.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, because I noticed, like, in the past couple of weeks we had less attendees here, but more PRs coming in, which is good. So it sounds like a lot of the long discussions we've already had. But when you said like we should have a conversation, I was just wondering, like, do we need to pull people from somewhere, or re-energize this group, or it's just a thought I had.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it that there's like that we're having the conversation on GitHub, as it were. I like that. I think there are different things that it's appropriate to have on the different forums, right? Like the when it's more about like execution, I think GitHub is a fine venue. When it's more about like how should we do certain things, I think this sort of thing is a good venue. I think we've already had a lot of the discussions here and so I think we are now mostly on execution type things, but we'll see what happens. I think the next step is, I think we've talked about this sort of restricted RBAC roles in the abstract. I don't think people have seen them in the flesh, as it were, in the code. And so it will be good to have one that actually demonstrates this and where people can say, oh, yes, I like this, or I don't like it. Obviously, they're going to like it, but where people can say, I like it.
Yeah, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. Super.
But that's all I've got.
Yeah, I've nothing to add.
We'll see.
All right, in that case, let's wrap it up. Thanks a lot for meeting everyone. Take care.
Thanks, Daniel.
Bye.
Thanks, Prakash.